Here's a little town I'd love to visit the next time I'm in Alberta, Smoky Lake. Located about 100 kilometers northeast of Edmonton, it's known as the pumpkin capital of the province. But it has much more to offer in terms of outdoor recreation, heritage, Indigenous culture, and history. The village has a number of homes and businesses that were constructed around the time of World War II. The Smoky Lake Railway Station was built over 100 years ago and is available to tour in the summer months. Just next door stands the century-old Smoky Lake Inn, designed by Sam Kostyniuk, who served as the town's mayor from 1929 to 1934. There are many heritage buildings in the town, well worth an afternoon's exploring, including a yummy-looking bakery built in 1939, a 1945 entertainment hall still in use today, an historic RCMP detachment, and a lovely Catholic church with Byzantine-style domes. Of particular interest might be the garage built to service the cars of the era. Anthony Nowakowski has a fascinating history of his own. He was a devoted mechanic who once worked for the famous World War I Canadian pilot Wap Bay. Tony and his wife purchased the garage in 1928. After married female teachers were let go to ensure that male teachers had jobs and could support their families during the Depression, Mary began to work in the business with her husband, and she continued to operate the Ford dealership after his passing, the first Canadian woman to do so. There is a very wonderful, detailed walking through history brochure available with pictures and history of the heritage buildings in the town. Check the description for a link. When you have finished exploring Smoky Lake's historic core, you might want to visit one of the many eateries for a meal or search out local farms for fresh produce and preserves. One place not to be missed, and only about 10 minutes away from the town, is Métis Crossing. The Métis are descendants of First Nations people and European fur traders, whose unions gave rise to a distinct culture, language, and traditions. At Métis Crossing, a sacred space is shared with visitors. You might walk along the North Saskatchewan River with a Métis cultural interpreter who explains the roles of native plants in their culture. Or you might sample some delicious Indigenous cuisine. They also offer accommodation and camping as well as other activities. Be sure to check out their website for more information. Of course, I have to include the Great White North Pumpkin Fair held every fall. Besides the weigh-off, not to be missed, pumpkins as large as 2,400 pounds have been seen. There will be food, shopping, and a car show. So whether it's for pumpkins, Canadian history, or serene walks by the river, Smoky Lake offers a peaceful blend of heritage and forested beauty. If you're planning a visit to Edmonton or northern Alberta, you might want to include this tiny town in your itinerary. Thanks for watching. See you next time.